In this session, we're going to have a look at how we can actually turn the backgrounds of these buttons transparent. Even though with PNGs, when they come in with transparent backgrounds, it hasn't quite translated across. So let's have a look at how we can do that. Now we know that our buttons work from the menu system here from the previous video. We've also given them a class. At the moment, they all share the same optional class, but we can actually have different styles for each of the buttons. Therefore, we can actually work on them individually or stylize them individually. But there's also a way of actually dealing with these and giving menu option 1, 2, 3, 4 a common pool of styles, and then we can go off and then individually style them afterwards. So let's open up our style sheet and have a look at that. So I'm going to go into my CSS and close this down, and I'm going to head down the bottom and we're going to start the menu option. So I'm going to use a comment in here. Now it's a good idea that you do section off your CSS. It does help people find things. It also shows what are called developer comments. You can also stylize them if you want. You can put dashes in like this, just so they look a little bit nicer, but you don't have to get too carried away. Now what we're going to do is use a different type of CSS. We're going to actually use a class. So you can see that the menu option -1 is the same as menu option -2. The only thing's changing is the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. So we want to be able to create a class of styles. So we're going to go class, and then we're going to use the star sign for the multiplication equals, and then we can specify the option. So in this case here, it's menu underscore option dash, and then close that off. And then we can actually open and close the brace. I'm just going to save that at the moment. So what this is looking at is menu underscore option, which is this, and then we have a 2 on the end. So this applies it to any CSS that has that prefix and like a wildcard. So we can go up numerically. And then we can actually apply some different classes here. So let's make the background transparent. So we're going to have a look at the background color. But the color is not going to be color, it's actually going to be transparent. We're also going to make sure the background doesn't repeat. And some other things we can do is remove the border. Also, we can control the cursor as well, so we can put a cursor in there and make. And if there is any overflow, let's hide it. Let's save that and go and refresh our page now. As you can see, we have all the buttons there. I hit refresh. Now the backgrounds are gone. When I bring my mouse over, it turns to a pointer, and then I can click on easy and head through. There's no borders. It makes it look like it sits there correctly. Now you could actually go change this into a graphic, like select the game, make it look a little bit more interesting, and even menu now could be removed. So there's still some cosmetic things that you can apply. Now if we want to apply different styles now to each of these buttons, maybe in a different sort of project, we can then also individually style these by using .menu option, and then we can talk to it directly and give it some sort of CSS instruction. Maybe if you want a background image, you could apply a background image, but in this case I'm just applying the easy to itself. So we can use a class to use a wildcard, or we can actually then identify them and then do individual changes. Have another one, option 2, and do something different with that. Okay, the next thing we need to do in our game is actually write the game. And this will be done on the game.php page. You might want to spend just a little bit of time just to fix up the presentation or the UX of this. Anyway, I'll see you next video.